So you've reached platinum, or you've been stuck in platinum for a while and you're wondering what's keeping me here and what should I be practicing to move up out of platinum and into diamond. Well, in this video I'm going to be explaining just that by giving you some mechanics that you can practice, as well as some advice that will help you move up out of platinum and into diamond. What's going on, y'all, and welcome to the how to mechanics video, or the basic mechanics video for platinum players. For those of you who don't know, or for those of you who are new here, we are doing a road to grand champion series here on the channel, where I'm taking you guys from bronze. We're going to work our way up to grand champion, and these videos here are the videos that are going to precede each rank. So every time I hit a new rank, I'm making one of these how to mechanics videos for that rank that pretty much showcase the mechanics that I'm going to be using at that rank, and mechanics that I feel like the players at that rank can learn and should be practicing to help you rank up. Now, of course, the mechanics that I use might vary depending on how good or how bad the players are. So these are just mechanics that I feel like will benefit you regardless of how good or how bad the players are. So you guys can move up in rank fairly easily with a lot of these mechanics that I'm going to be showing to you guys. But with that being said, we're going to jump into free play so I can get to showcasing the mechanics that you guys should be practicing here in plat. Alright, so we're now in free play. And before anything else, I want to go over a few things here. I want to go over the things that I've been speaking about thus far in the series, because believe it or not, going from gold to platinum, there isn't really much else for you to learn. It's more so about using what you've already learned in gold and kind of just improve upon it, get better at it, and overall just be smarter, have better positioning, and perform the mechanics more consistently, and that will help you push up higher and higher in platinum and closer to diamond. But there are going to be a couple of things I'm going to mention here in this video, but I want to go over the things that I've already mentioned previously. So if you guys haven't seen the how to mechanics video for gold or for silver yet, I do recommend watching those first, seeing as the mechanics in those videos I'm still going to be using in plat, and a lot of those are going to be used throughout a lot of the rest of the ranks we're going to be going into in the series. So I recommend watching those videos first if you haven't already seen them. But I am going to mention a couple of videos here in the platinum rank that you guys can also practice that we're also going to be utilizing in plat as well. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right into the first mechanic. Alright, so the first mechanic that I want to mention is wall shots. So you guys have been seeing in the series thus far that wall shots have been helping us quite a bit, especially in the last episode and us hitting plat, that we've been using wall shots a little bit here and there to give us an edge in scoring, to kind of shock the opponents a bit by popping the ball off the wall, getting a touch towards the net, and overall just giving the opponents a harder time saving the ball, because of course at the lower ranks when the ball is in the air, the opponents have a whole lot of a harder time defending against it as opposed to you just rolling the ball to them on the ground. So learning how to hit the ball off the wall is a really fundamental skill to have, and a really good skill to have, because learning how to pop the ball off the wall can take you into a lot of different things, like learning how to do wall to air dribbles and a bunch of other things as well. But for now in platinum, we're just going to be focusing on shooting the ball off of the wall by utilizing our arrow, or simply just jumping off the wall and hitting the ball towards the net, which will kind of help you get some pretty good shots on net and can surprise a lot of the opponents down in plat and give them a harder time defending. So let's talk about how to do this, right? Or how you could practice this. So in free play, of course, you have take possession. There's a couple of other buttons that you have here in free play as well, where you can press some of those commands in the top right there. As you can see, you can press those buttons and you can take possession and things like that. Someone asked me the other day, they said they have a hard time controlling their car on the wall, or the overall car control on the wall feels a little bit weird to them. Now, of course, that just comes with time and practice. But a really common thing that a lot of lower rank players do when it comes to hitting the ball on the wall, or just hitting the ball in general, that you guys typically go for where the ball is instead of where the ball is going to go. And it's especially the case on the wall, where if you're always just following and going where the ball is, you'll end up going around the ball as opposed to actually hitting the ball. So you want to make sure you want to account for where the ball is going to go and not for where the ball already is sitting on the wall, or else you'll always end up missing it. You end up over or under shooting the ball. So that's just something fundamental to know when it comes to hitting the ball off the wall in general. You want to make sure that you're predicting where the ball is going to roll to next, as opposed to where the ball already is. So now that we got that out the way, let's talk about actually shooting the ball off of the wall. So we spoke about hook shots down in silver, and now that practicing hook shots is very important, because you can utilize it in a lot of scenarios. You can use the hook shots when hitting the ball off the wall here. So if you go around the ball at a certain angle, As you can see, you can pop it off the wall and towards the goal by utilizing this hook shot here. So you can go around it, hit it towards the net, and now of course you want to be able to do it with a lot more power, and that of course comes with using your boost. You want to boost at the moment of contact if you want to generate more power. You want to go around it here, kind of just boost through the touch, and as you can see, it goes a lot higher and a lot farther. So just simply being able to line yourself up to hit the ball off the wall is good as well. But you will run into times where the ball is not exactly on the wall, but it's a little bit off the wall. You might have to utilize a single jump that you saw us do in the series a couple of times as well. So sometimes using a single jump can help you. If you see that the ball is not exactly connected to the wall, you can kind of use a single jump to jump off the wall and pop the ball towards the net as well. Now for that case that you just saw there where the ball is not exactly connected to the wall at all, it's kind of like this. You want to jump off the wall, use your arrow, and you can utilize a flip there as well. So if the ball is not into the wall and it's kind of like this, you can jump, arrow, and flip. And kind of the same thing we've been talking about with the ball being on the ground, where you jump and flip into the ball. You can do this on the wall as well. So you know the ball is bouncing up in the air like this. We've been talking about jumping and flipping. You do that same thing on the wall, but you utilize your arrow. Now, of course, it doesn't matter whether or not you use free roll or directional. As I said, I personally use directional. So for me, the directional arrow button is the left bumper, which I personally use the most. Pop the ball off the wall, I use my left bumper, and then I can flip. And as you can see, I can get some power off the wall here. This is going to help you quite a bit, seeing as we're not talking about wall to air dribbles as of yet, not in plat. If wall to air dribbles is something that you want to learn, we will speak about that at a later time. But for right now, this will help you in just getting basic shots off the wall, and this is the first step to actually mastering wall to air dribbles. You can simply just pop the ball off the wall, arrow, boost, and flip, and as you can see, you can hit the ball on target. So this is a really fundamental skill to learn. Knowing how to shoot the ball off the wall is really helpful in a lot of modes, not just twos. You can use it in ones as well, and simply just knowing how to do this is really useful for scoring on opponents, especially opponents that have a hard time defending balls that are in the air, like people who are in the lower ranks. Of course, at the higher ranks, you're going to need to do a lot more to get the ball around opponents, but this should work perfectly in gold and plat, especially as you've seen in the series. It's simply popping the ball off the wall and into the air makes the opponents insanely awkward and puts them into really awkward situations for them to deal with, thus allowing you to capitalize and get some pretty easy and free goals. Now the next mechanic I'm going to talk about is double jump aerials or fast aerials. Now you don't exactly need to learn how to fast aerial down in plat, but I do think that it is a good skill to learn down here in platinum or to start practicing, seeing as a fast aerial can allow you to get up to the ball a lot quicker in the air as opposed to just a normal aerial. A lot of players down in gold and low ranks, you typically single jump and fly for the ball like this, which is a very good start to learning how to aerial, but of course you can also double jump and go for the ball to get some more height. And then you have the fast aerial, which is a little bit different. So a fast aerial isn't just double jumping and then flying up for the ball like this. Even though it does give you some more height and allows you to get up a little bit quicker, it is not exactly a fast aerial. A fast aerial looks more like this, where you jump, you tilt your car back, and then you boost through that first jump as well. So you jump, and you're boosting through that first jump while your car is already facing upwards. So your car is facing upwards already before you use your second jump. You kind of max out your jump timer. As I said before, you have a 1.5 second jump timer before your second jump is no longer in effect. But if you hold your jump button, you also jump a lot higher than if you just tap it. As you can see, when you hold it, you go a whole lot higher as opposed to just tapping it. So you can utilize this by holding your jump and tilting back like this. Of course, you don't want to tilt back that far like I just did, but you jump and tilt your car back and then use your second jump while boosting. Right? Now, of course, you want to be boosting already, and you can see how quickly I get to the ceiling. Right? So I get to the ceiling very quickly by utilizing a fast aerial, and this will allow you to get up to the ball a whole lot faster than a lot of your opponents that are down in plat. And you'll actually be surprised by how many people who have gotten to GC without actually fast aerialing. I personally don't even always utilize fast aerials myself, but I do use it in a lot of scenarios where you want to get up to the ball extremely quick and you need to beat an opponent. If they don't fast aerial, a lot of times, even if you jump after them, you can beat them to a ball, which is very crazy to witness. Sometimes you might jump for a ball before someone, and they might jump after you. You're probably wondering how they beat you to that ball. It's probably because you didn't fast aerial and they did. So a lot of people think that they know how to fast aerial, but a lot of people don't actually know how to do it properly. So that's why what I've been displaying thus far is just showing you how to properly do it, but I'm going to go over it here again, just so you guys understand how to do it properly, just in case my explanation was not good the first time. So I just want to make sure I'm explaining everything thoroughly so you guys know exactly how to do it and how to practice it. A fast aerial is when you jump, you hold your jump button on the first jump, you hold it and tilt your card back, and then you're holding it and boosting at the same time, right? So that's the first step. You want to hold your jump, tilt up, and boost at the same time. And then while your card's in the air and you're boosting, then you use your second jump. So you jump, tilt back, and then use your second jump to get up extremely high, extremely quick. If you've ever wondered how a lot of pro players get up to the ceiling using like 30 or 40 boosts, this is the way to do so, right? So a fast aerial is a whole lot different than just a normal double jump aerial. As you can see, you have to use so much boost to get up to the ceiling by just double jumping. And if you just single jump, it's even longer, right? So knowing how to fast aerial is definitely very, very useful. It can definitely help you beat a lot of opponents to the ball, as opposed to just doing a normal slow aerial up to the ball. But yeah, there's not a lot to cover regarding fast aerial. It's a fairly simplistic mechanic to learn, and I feel like if you've been aerialing thus far in gold and in plat, you should be able to pick it up fairly easily. There's not much else to change in regards to a normal double jump aerial. It's just pretty much the timing on when you use your boost and when you use your second jump that make all the difference, right? So that's pretty much going to cover that with regards to fast aerialing, and we're going to go ahead and move on to the next mechanic here. Now the next mechanic I'm going to cover is not exactly a mechanic, it is more so along the lines of giving you guys some advice, but this mechanic is called positioning. Now I know a lot of you probably feel like your positioning is pitch perfect and that the one who has the bad positioning is your teammate. But I'm going to tell you this, your rank tells you a lot about how good you are at positioning. For example, if you're gold, you only have gold level positioning. If you're plat, you only have plat level positioning, and so on and so forth. Now, of course, where you position and where you might know or think is a good place to position will continue to change as you rank up or even as you D-rank. Players play differently across each rank, which may require you to have to change your playstyle. For example, if you're diamond, your silver friend isn't going to position like your diamond teammates. Let's take a more extreme example and say you're grand champ. Your champ teammate and your champ opponents aren't going to position or make the same choices as your grand champ teammates or opponents would. You guys would be surprised how many higher ranks could actually have trouble in the lower ranks for a little, simply because of this one thing. Things that the higher ranked players are used to just don't happen down in the lower ranks, and sometimes they might even find themselves stuck down there until they force themselves to adapt. Now, positioning isn't something that you can exactly go into free play and practice. It's more something that comes with time and experience and the understanding of certain situations. As I said, what might be working for you in your rank, or what you might feel is good or is a good habit at your rank, could actually prove to be a bad habit later on down the line. It's easy to get into the mindset of, oh, this has been working for me, so it'll probably still work. Or this works in grand champ, so it should work in champ. Or this works in champ, so it should work in diamond. This won't always be the case, because each player at each rank sees and plays the game differently. Each player has had their own unique experiences in the game, which might cause them to react to a certain situation a lot differently than you might. So it's a lot better to go into each match assuming every player in the lobby is a different rank with unique experiences that you need to pay attention to. You should cue the match expecting to get a bad teammate, but instead of complaining about it, try analyzing the situation and positioning yourself accordingly to help out your teammate, support their strengths, cover for their weaknesses, position mid for their passes when you're on the opponent's half, position behind them if they're challenging. If they want to chase, let them. If they're passive, then take initiative. Instead of playing to show off, play to support your teammate, and you'll start noticing that you're starting to win a lot more games. But with that being said, that is going to conclude what we have to talk about positioning. Not exactly a lot that I can cover regarding positioning in a single video. Of course, during the series, you guys will start to see how I position and how I play around plats or players around this rank, and even players around the higher ranks as well, diamond, champ, and up until we reach grand champ. And if you guys are more interested in seeing how I position playing around your rank, maybe your gold or silver or bronze, I already have videos out about that as well, where we've already gone through some of the lower ranks like bronze, silver, and gold, and we're now making our way up into plat. But with that being said, hopefully you guys found this video helpful and informative in some way. You guys feel like you did learn something from this. As I said, there's not much to cover regarding plat. We're pretty much going to be building on the stuff you've already learned in gold and silver, and then just adding on some of these extra mechanics that we spoke about thus far in this video. And some of the mechanics that I mentioned are things you guys can start practicing early so that you guys can be ahead of the game for when you get to diamond and already have certain mechanics mastered for when you already get there. But we're mostly going to be just focusing on a lot of the basics that we've been learning and been using thus far. And with that being said, if you guys did like this video, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. Let me know down in the comments down below if you feel like there's something that I left out, or something that I might have missed, or something that you feel like I didn't explain all that well. Therefore, I can try to clear some things up down in the comment section down below, and I can answer some of you guys' questions down there as well. But with that being said, that is going to conclude this video, and that is it for me. Peace.